KAIJUS! What's up? It's your boy Kaiju Kong. Emerging from the depths of solitude to bring you some more Sigma Soul sustenance. Guys, I'm really pumped today. Just came from a workout, took a shower. Today was supposed to be a rest day. There was not supposed to be any video for you guys. But then on my walk, I considered it and I was thinking, just because it's Wednesday, I believe I have some information to impart which I believe will help you guys. Just because it's Wednesday. Now why is that? Many people don't even know why the names of the week are the way they are. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Why are they named that way? The more inquisitive of you probably know, but majority will not. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why, and also where the lesson is. All of them usually are from Old English or Norse. So Monday is the day of the moon, which is why in Latin languages it's luna or lunes, lundi, Tuesday, Thursday, or the god of war, Tyr. In Latin languages, the god of war is Mars. That's why in Latin languages like French and Spanish, we have mardi or martes. Wednesday, let's skip Wednesday. Thursday is day of Thor, the day of the god of thunder, which many of you guys probably know. In Latin, Thor's equivalent is Jupiter. That's why in Latin languages like French and Spanish we have jueves, and French we have jeudi. Friday, in Old English or Norse, it's Frigg's Day, or the day of the goddess of love. And Frigg's equivalent in Roman mythology is Venus. That's why we have viernes and vendredi in the Latin languages like Spanish and French. Saturday is Saturn's day, and Sunday is the day of the sun, but in Latin languages it's the day of God. That's why in French it's dimanche, and in Spanish it's domingo, as well in Portuguese from domini, God. So that's like knowledge number one. Knowledge number two is Wednesday, or Woden's Day in Old English. Woden or Odin, the day of Odin. Now, why I wanted to talk to you guys about it being Wednesday, the day of Odin. Odin is very important probably for us Sigma males. Now, many of you might disagree in the beginning because Odin is the chieftain or the All-Father, the chief of all gods. But what many of you don't know is he's actually also the patron of outcasts and basically people who go their own way. Now why is that? Because Odin's foundational personality is as a wanderer. He was a shaman. He used to go around and travel throughout all the lands disguised as a poor traveler, as a poor beggar, in search of wisdom, in search of knowledge to increase his power. Now why is that? Because he had this relentless pursuit of wisdom. That was his goal in life. He wanted knowledge, he wanted wisdom, and he traveled the world to achieve it. He was even noted to approach people who were dying to learn from them, to learn from their lives in order to increase his own wisdom, which is quite funny. But the thing that I like about Odin is his amount of self-sacrifice in attaining his goal. What do I mean by this? Well, there are two notable areas where he sacrificed. One is Odin is perceived or portrayed without one of his eyes missing. Now, where did he lose his eye? Well, he lost his eye because he gave his eye, he exchanged his eye in order to drink from the well of wisdom. So, in order to gain his wisdom, he gave up his eye. So he sacrificed his worldly vision, which is his eye, for internal vision, which is wisdom. So that was sacrifice number one. Sacrifice number two is, many of you know the Norse runes, right? Well, Norse runes a long time ago were believed to have powers of understanding, of foresight, and those who could read and truly understand the runes were given the gift of telling the future or deep understanding of how the world worked. And in Norse mythology, in the middle of the world there was this big world tree, a giant tree called Yggdrasil, and Yggdrasil was marked with a lot of runes that if you were to understand what the runes meant, they would tell you the fate of the world, how the world works, and thus, as you can imagine, if you understood these runes, you'd be able to understand the world itself. And Odin wanted that wisdom and knowledge. So what he did was, in order to understand the runes, and the runes could only be understood by those worthy or deemed worthy by let's say, the tree or the runes themselves. So what Odin did was he pinned himself to the tree with a spear, like that, and refused to drink or eat anything for 9 days and 9 nights. And after constantly looking up at the runes, after the 9th day, he understood what the runes meant. And because he sacrificed and gained that extra wisdom of how the world worked, that's how he became the chieftain of all the gods. Therefore, it's not power, it's not great skills, great talents, it's the ability to sacrifice for a greater evolution of oneself. To become the best version of yourself, you must sacrifice who you are now. And that was what Odin portrayed throughout his life. That's how he evolved so much, because he was willing to sacrifice who he was now in order to see who he could potentially become. Thor didn't do that. Frigg didn't do that. Loki didn't do that. They all caused trouble in their own selves. They were all proud, egotistical. But Odin was the only one who self-sacrificed in order to reach out and grasp what could potentially be his more complete self. And that's what I wanted to impart to you guys. Of course, Odin is not a real person and his stories are myths, but they did inspire a generation of warriors, the Vikings. And look what they did. They conquered lands. They were well acclaimed. Even until now, Vikings are very well respected as men, as role models of men, as conquerors of truly masculine virtues. They were warriors, they were strong. Unlike the men that we see nowadays, they are questionable. Thing is, the world today is very easy. It's full of pleasure, it's full of comfort. And people nowadays, especially the younger ones, when they see the least amount of discomfort, the least amount of sacrifice, anything that's tough, anything that's hard, they're turned off. They don't want to do it. And because of that, they risk not even knowing what they could potentially become. They will never reach their full potential. So what I'm saying is, the Vikings knew a long time ago that great things come at a great cost. And only those who are willing to self-sacrifice were able to gain themselves. As Odin himself said, I sacrificed myself in order to gain myself, or I sacrificed myself for myself. So that's it, guys. So whenever you go through something tough, or whenever you want to evolve, perhaps sometimes you just have to give a little bit of yourself. You will never know what you could become unless you sacrifice who you are now. If this message helped you in any way, then leave a like or comment down your thoughts down below. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing. This is the channel where Sigma males level up every single day. We are not only lone wolves, not only tigers here, we are looking to become Kaijus, the true ultimate Sigma beasts. And with that, thank you very much for joining me, guys. Kaiju calling out.